take it, Dave.
Okay. Alan Cole, GamecockScoop.com. Brenda said yesterday after the game that she felt like there was a blueprint out on how to beat South Carolina, and some of the players said they felt like it was similar to the Indiana game, what Maryland did. How do you go about fixing that when teams feel like they maybe have a book out on you in just a day and a half?
Okay. The blueprint? I mean, people played us like that ever since we had Elight at Boston. Like, I mean, it's nothing new. I mean, we lead the country in points in the paint, clog the paint. It's like they did a good job executing their game plan, and we did a poor job at shot selection. So we'll be better. We just got to take better shots. If you're open in the first 5 seconds of a shot clock, you're probably going to be open in the last 5 seconds of the shot clock. So we just got to take better rhythm shots, and just fortunate that we're able to continue to play.
Here to your left.
Mingo Martin, Gamecock Central. Today officially marks a decade since you all clinched your first trip to Tampa in the Final Four. What do you kind of remember of that day in Greensboro, and how have you seen this stage grow for women's basketball since then?
Great question, Mingo. Mingo, you were in our camp. You were in our parent camp, right? Parent-child camp. Was it 10 years ago? All right. I'm trying to remember. I think Olivia Gaines hit a big shot in the corner. Ball went up, came down, hit the rim a few times, and that was kind of the play that sealed the deal for us. And we played against North Carolina, correct? So Alicia Gray, so we had fun. Once Alicia Gray transferred in to our program, we had fun talking about that particular moment. But it was just a great moment. I think we had a pretty favorable crowd in Greensboro, and everybody was just super happy. And then the Final Four being in Tampa was probably one of the best experiences that I've had. Obviously, it was our first one, but just it opens your eyes to really not wanting to go to the Final Four unless you're participating in it, because it's that much fun and that much just competitiveness and excitement. So, I mean, and I'm glad that we've experienced that. I think five other times since then. So it's cool. So it would be, you know, we would be great and honored to represent women's basketball in Tampa and in this year's Final Four.
Okay, we're going to go over here.
Hey, Coach. Tommy Dees, USA Today Network. I'd like to take you back about 20 years. You interviewed with the University of Alabama for that job, I believe. And can you tell us how that went down and how it played out? I want to say that you didn't want to retire yet and they wanted you to retire from active playing, or was that part of it?
Was I playing then? I don't know if I was playing. I do remember Mal Moore, like, great man, you know, great man, great interview. Brought me to Alabama and took me around. Not just, you know, for me, I'm a feeler. Like, I like to feel being in the place and seeing myself in the place. And once I got to Alabama, no offense, I just didn't feel myself. I was so young. I'm from Philly, and I didn't have an appreciation for the South at that point. Just too young and dumb to realize it. But I enjoy the people, and when you can't feel yourself in a place, it really is the people that allow you to kind of, like, if that was a non-negotiable, I would probably have to rethink that non-negotiable because of the people that I met.
Right here to the right.
Hey, Don, Cameron Sieg with The Athletic. I think it was Thursday when you were reflecting on earlier in the season, you said that this team had to relearn how hard it is to win. I'm curious if you can talk through what that process was like of kind of getting them to understand how hard this is to do this on a day-to-day basis and the growth you've seen in them from that time.
Well, I just think that anytime that you're coming off a national championship, you're the targeted one. Everybody wants to, knock you off your throne, and with this particular team, they've never been in that situation where they've won and then they gotta defend the championship, defend it, and we went undefeated, so they tend to forget, we had some close moments of losing, that they just kind of tuck those moments away. Like, we feel them as coaches every day. Like, we feel where we are, we feel how we're playing. For them, it's just like, okay, let's not think about the bad stuff. Let's only think about the shots I made. Let's only think about, the completed passes I made. And we're thinking about all the other stuff. And when they don't have all the other stuff in front of them, and they're only thinking about, sweeping things under the rug, it gets pretty hard. So we've had to learn through losing to build some endurance of how hard it is. And losing does that to you. You're either going to succumb to it, or you're going to fight and try to get back to your habits, of your winning habits and what it took for us to win. So it's a great dynamic. It's a great process, one that you can embrace if there's understanding and growth and learning through losing.
Far right or left, sorry.
Lulu Kessin, the Greenville News. Yesterday, you complimented all of your assistant coaches in terms of subbing. I just want to narrow in on Khadijah a little bit. She's always bringing the energy, but I've noticed that she's a little intentional about when she's maybe in a player's ear, when she's backing off. I guess, could you talk about the advantages of having, a former player that isn't too far removed from the game on staff, especially in kind of those vocal moments?
Yeah, that young energy. She's got it. I think Khadijah has a real good feel for the game because she played it really at a high level, and she understands where the pitfalls of young players and where they are today and how hard they need to work. Like, I don't think young people understand how hard they need to work in order for them to get what they want in life. So she's real good at it. She's got a real good relationship with Malaysia, and Malaysia listens to her. Malaysia trusts her. So what when I'm getting on Malaysia, Khadijah has probably a more kinder, calmer interpretation of what I meant.
Right here on the right.
Ben Pickman with The Athletic. Sanaya was saying that when you were recruiting her, that you would call her like every Monday or Monday evening. I guess, what do you kind of remember about recruiting Sanaya to South Carolina, and what moments, what growth moments have you, seen, observed over the last couple of years at this point?
Yeah, we did used to call Mondays. Mondays was Bible study night for her family. So she would call me after Bible study. And then, she gave me instant, just topic of conversation. We talked about the Bible scripture that they read from, and she would just explain it. Like, it's cool to get her to just, she's a talker. Like, she really likes to talk. She was one that I really enjoyed talking to because she did most of the talking. I would ask her a question and she goes off. And it was cool just to see the family dynamic, really strong family, faith-based family, close-knit family. And when you get a family like the Fagans, you get the entire family. And the good, the bad, and the ugly of it, which I don't think there's any. You just get the truth. Like, they want her to be great. They know that she needed a coach that will hold her to her standard. And throughout the process, that doesn't mean that they don't get frustrated with, the amount of time that she plays or whether she starts or doesn't start. It just means that they respect the process. And through like really frank communication, it wasn't a doubt. Like I never questioned whether or not she was going to transfer, because our mother, they had a strong belief that this is where, growth is taking place. Even though it didn't produce more playing time, she saw her daughter grow, and that's the most important piece.
On the aisle right here.
Andrea Adelson with ESPN.com. Don, as you guys have moved through this tournament and your players obviously want to win another championship, have you felt any sort of pressure kind of building with them as you've gone through these last couple of games, knowing it's getting harder and harder?
I don't. Like, I don't. They are, young people are a lot different than when we played. Like, they fear nothing. Like, you can't see it. Maybe they do it outside of us. I doubt it. But, as a coach, you have to just, if that's your team, if that's the makeup of your team where they don't feel the pressure. Maybe individuals may feel a little bit of pressure, but the overall team, I think they rely on the trust that they build with each other and the experience. Like, we got experience playing in the Elite Eight, over the past 4 or 5 years. So hopefully we'll be able to tap into some of that, and they are tapping into some of that. Not saying that we're like overly confident, because we're not. There's a space where you've been here before, so the nerves are put to the side, and you get to your habits a lot quicker than hopefully than someone that hasn't been here a whole lot.
Far back right standing.
Coach Judy Gatson from WYS-TV, you've talked a lot about the special relationship that you have with Plies and his support. Just curious if you saw his tweet last night saying he better not see any more TikTok videos and he wants the team to get in the gym, get shots up, and get locked in. Curious to see if you saw the tweet and what reaction you and or the team might have had.
I think Plies kind of sums up what probably all of our fans would like to see, is our players locked in, ready to go, and but that's just not this era of players. You can fight it all you want to fight it. You can take the phones away. They got other devices. Like, it's not worth it. Like, you have to allow them their space. It's part of their decompressing. It's part of their, sometimes you got to compartmentalize. Their approach can't be like all basketball, because at some point they'll mentally tire of it, and then they can't perform when it's time to perform. So God bless Plies. They're not going to do it, although they'll probably look at the post and maybe think about it, but they'll keep scrolling.
Right here to the right.
Hey, Coach. Carmine Jame with Fox Carolina. Coach Kara Lawson was up here talking about all the times you guys have crossed paths, and obviously both champions. Just curious what your relationship with her is like, and then to be on the same stage with also a very successful player and coach.
Our relationship is of respect. I respect the success that Kara's having at Duke. I respect the fact that she's been in our game for a long time at different stops, commentating, NBA assistant. I think she did radio for the Wizards, or maybe it was TV. I just respect the fact that she's given to our game for a very long time. She's an Olympian. She's an Olympic assistant coach. So for someone that has devoted and served our game as long as she has, you gotta tip your hat to her.
Okay, we're out of time. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.